Asia's reinsurers are actively expanding to mature overseas markets, according to a new report from AM Best. This report is part of AM Best's look at the global reinsurance industry around the Rendezvous des Septembre. I'm Lori Chortis for AM Best TV, and we're joined today by the authors of this section, Senior Director Christie Lee and Associate Director Chris Lim. Let's start with the performance of and results for AM Best's Asia Pacific Reinsurance Composite. Christie, how did that group fare in 2024?
In 2024, AM Best Asia Pacific Reinsurance Composite, which includes major reinsurers reporting under IFRS 17, they showed solid performance. The combined ratio improved to 91.4% thanks to lower catastrophe losses across Asia and also very strong underwriting profits from their overseas portfolios. On top of that, investment income was higher, which helped push the average ROE up to 11.3%. This continues the positive trend we saw in 2023. And in particular, Chinese reinsurers stood out as their investment income rebounded strongly from the really tough market conditions in 2022.
Chris, what are some of the drivers behind the strong earnings for reinsurers in the South-Southeast region, and what role is competition playing?
Reinsurers in Singapore and South and Southeast Asia delivered strong earnings in 2024, supported by healthy underwriting results, robust income from elevated interest rates, and a relatively benign catastrophe environment. Companies also benefited from prior market corrections, which improved underwriting margins and strengthened earnings. That said, competition is building up. Improved margins and sustained pricing have attracted new capital and prompted incumbents to expand more capacity in selective programs. This has intensified pressure, particularly in upper layers of risk programs and well-performing treaty segments. During the 2025 renewals, many cedants in Southeast Asia and India reported significant treaty overplacements, while reinsurance rates also came under downward pressure. This marked a shift from the firming trend that we see in recent years, signaling that while reinsurers have enjoyed strong results, future earnings growth may be constrained by rising competitive dynamics.
Christie, can you please talk about the diversification play in Asia's reinsurance market? It's not just one-sided here, is it?
That's right. It's definitely not a one-way street. Over the past decade, major European reinsurers have viewed Asia-Pacific region as a key area for diversification and growth, and many have already set up local offices. And Asia now consistently in the past decade makes up about 10 to 20% of the gross premium written. That serve the purpose for like their growth engine and also a way to diversify risk. But Asian reinsurers over the past decade, they're also expanding outward. As you know, in China, there's slower economic momentum, and in some of the markets like Japan, South Korea, having aging populations issue. So they're increasingly looking to expand to international markets to maintain growth and also diversify the risk. In fact, the average overseas premium contribution has jumped from 22% in 2010 to 42% in 2024. Initially, they focused on nearby Asian markets, but now they're also making strong expansion to mature markets like the US and Europe. Today, the US premiums make up 18% of the portfolios, and European premiums account for 10%. From a rating perspective, this global expansion is considered as positive. It brings growth opportunities and also more capital efficient, as well as better investment returns when they're expanding to liability lines with longer liability durations. And most importantly, we think it actually helps them in building expertise in specialty lines that are currently not common in the home market. So this would also create synergy for helping them to expand in long term, also in the home market. Diversification also makes them like more agile in managing the underwriting cycle over time.
And Chris, any final comments here?
Mhm. Still, Asia remains a key source of diversification for international players. Notably, foreign reinsurers increasingly view India as an attractive diversification play, underpinned by both regulatory reforms and strong domestic demand. Recent regulatory developments have promoted smoother market access and drove higher participation from global players to India's reinsurance market. As a result, foreign reinsurers are now playing a more active role in both treaty and facultative placements in the market. For reinsurers seeking growth outside traditional mature markets, the region offers a compelling opportunity as it undergoes strong expansion in the non-life lines, coupled with large-scale infrastructure development and rising insurance penetration. Tapping into that region has also enabled access to business growth which are not correlated with risk exposures in the developed markets.
That was AM Best Senior Director Christie Lee and Associate Director Chris Lim. For AM Best TV, I'm Lori Chortis.